Hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Man, last night, Roger Goodell ordered NFL facilities to close for the next 2 days for in person activities until Wednesday. Um, their concern is a lot of players spent Thanksgiving with out of town visitors and guests and things like that, and they're worried about having a couple people pop in and end up spreading COVID. And we already know how it's kind of played with the Steelers versus the Ravens. That literally one person. Forgive me. So tired. Cannot stop yawning. I can't seem to sleep. How one person literally got 18 people with the Ravens with COVID. And so, it doesn't take but one person to really get this stuff going. So they're doing that. Now, in other news, Jerry Jones, of course, is excited about Des Bryant and everything else and talks about how great he is and everything else. But of course, he's the one that ended up telling Des, thanks, but no thanks. See you later. And it'll be interesting to see the Ravens with Des Bryant across the way um, playing for the Ravens. Football it's a crazy sport that in the end there really is no loyalty anymore to anyone or anything. It's really about the bottom line is the bottom line. It's kind of sad. And speaking of loyalty, wow, this is where I start to really think that Jerry Jones completely has lost it. Ben DiNucci from JMU, who came to the Dallas Cowboys, 7th round draft pick, still wet behind the ears with no offseason whatsoever with the Cowboys. Literally was part of 14 practices and virtual reality workouts, OTAs. And if you remember when Dak Prescott talked about his offseason, his rookie year, that in practice he would get one rep in practice a day. So you think about how little that Ben DiNucci had to work with. But he did play college football at Pitt and University of Pennsylvania, I can't remember, and of course JMU, where he was a quarterback. Jerry Jones compared Ben DiNucci to the wide receiver, practice squad wide receiver, who played quarterback for the Denver Broncos, and said that they weren't any more hamstrung than Ben DiNucci. Are you kidding me? What, Jerry? What the hell? Seriously. You are literally saying that Ben DiNucci and a practice squad undrafted wide receiver are the same thing? Michael's over here shaking his head. I mean, seriously.
No, we still could have won that game. There's no way in the world that Denver could have won that game with that gentleman.
I think, Ben DiNucci's numbers weren't really good, but half the time we were kept trying to do double reverses and things. And literally, I mean, this is one of those cases where, Jerry, I think you've lost it. I honestly think that you've lost it on that one. I mean, the guy wasn't throwing routes. He wasn't looking at the playbook from the standpoint of, the reads and everything else. And he was a practice squad guy. And you're saying that that's the same as what we had with Ben DiNucci, that they weren't any more hamstrung than us? Come on, man. Come on, Jerry. You got to be kidding me. You want to hear a crazy one, guys? We got the 49ers. We got the Ravens. We got Cincinnati, who's without Joe Burrow. Cincinnati, who the Giants barely beat. Barely beat. And they're pounding their chest. I know Cop Pizzle is talking about we're up where we belong and we're great and I got the strap and this, that, and the other. But understand, Cincinnati, you lucky to get through. and you've lost your quarterback for at least one game. If the Cowboys beat that Cincinnati team, I'm not saying that we are. I'm not saying that we're good enough to beat anybody. But hypothetically, if we win that game and you end up beating the Giants and the Eagles, guess what? I think we actually win the division, as crazy as it sounds. At the moment, I'm sitting here looking at the Cowboys solidifying more the number 4 pick. The Eagles right on our tails at 6. I think Washington is at 8, and the Giants are at 19. This year, 2020, is a year that you just want to forget. And winning this division, whoever it is definitely going to be hurting the going forward. That first place schedule, that draft pick that's going to be at least 10 spots further down the line is definitely going to hurt them. And so at this point, I've got people that'll say, you're not a real Cowboys fan if you ever wish them to lose. And I'm not saying I wish them to lose, but 2015's draft ended up bringing us quite a lot of players on our team that helped us in 2016. And we're in the last month of this 2020, and I am so ready to get rid of this year that maybe we hit rock bottom this year. We got no place to go but up. Now, I can't help you on the Jerry Jones situation. If Jerry Jones is still calling the shots, and I'm beginning to think that Stephen Jones is getting more Jerry-like with some of his calls and some of the things he's beginning to say. I don't know that we ever get out of this funk where we are sometimes good enough to compete, but not good enough to compete all the way. And then we flip into a couple of these years that are just really, really bad. I don't know if that changes or not. But I know you got a better chance of changing if you get better players. And sometimes having the better players can overcome the ownership and bad coaching. Who knows? But at this point, I just feel beat down. When I hear Jerry Jones say some nonsense like that, it just makes me go, don't. Yeah, we're in trouble. All right, I hope you're having a good Taco Tuesday. And I will catch you guys later.